And if you want to eat it, you can eat it. And if you don't want to eat it, you don't have to eat it. I say it in every video. Ooh, Ricky's pasta, olive oil and garlic. Now, we're going to make quick, easy pan sauce. Let's use this again. So I got these beautiful New York State tomatoes. They're hydroponic because the regular ones are not really ready yet. But look at them. They're gorgeous and they're ripe. And I'm going to take the cores out because the cores are nasty and they're kind of tannic. So you don't want to eat tomato cores. And we're going to take the skin off these. And I'm going to show you how we're going to do that, how easily it is. Right here. And right here. Okay, so we took the cores off. Now we're just going to cut a little X in the bottom. That's going to help the skin come right off. 1, 2, 1, 2. I've got a pot of rolling boiling water right here on my beautiful new Ilve stove. And they're going to drop right into the boiling water. We're going to use the same water to cook our pasta because why waste water? It's beautiful and easy. So I have a nice little bowl of ice water here. And that's how we're going to get the tomatoes skins to come off. We're going to blanch the tomatoes and you will see as they boil the skins start to come off. Anyway, crank that up a bit. They start to loosen up, right? So give them a second. That's going to loosen up. Let them go. While those are going, we're going to cut our garlic and I'm going to show you how to do garlic like a true pouliaise. Most people mince their garlic really fine and what that means is the garlic permeates the whole dish. While a lot of people like that, some people don't like to eat a lot of garlic, but it's like the essence of it. So what I like to do is slice the garlic. That way you see it, take the bran off, and if you want to eat it, you can eat it. And if you don't want to eat it, you don't have to eat it. I say it in every video. So look, nice and fine. They make little devices for this, but nature gave me devices called hands, and we're going to use them. All right? That's 4 cloves of garlic. That's a lot of garlic, but it's sliced and you'll be able to work with it. Let me check my tomatoes. See what's happening now? Look. Can you see this? Look at the skin. It's coming right off. So I'm going to plunge them in cold water. And that's going to help the skins come right off. It'll also help me to handle them. We're going to keep that water boiling. And yes, the water is salted. Now watch. I'm going to stick my hand in there because it's already kind of cool. Let the big one sink, and look at this. Beautiful, right? My tomatoes are being peeled before your very eyes. So that's how you make tomatoes for fresh sauce. You want to get the skin off. Skin has a lot of tannins also, so it adds like a bitterness to your sauce. Go for the meat, the flesh, the deliciousness. Okay? Now, I'll show you a very fancy trick I learned. Just move it over here. Watch this. Hands. Squish. Squish. Can you use a machine for this? Sure, you can use any kind of machine you want. Technology's great, but I like to use my hands for as much as I can. The tactile experience of feeling food in your hands is one of the human elements that we need to keep alive. We can't let the world turn into a screen. So this is, look at that. Want a can of crushed tomatoes? Right there. A perfect can of local New York crushed tomatoes. So, now we have pasta, we have tomatoes, we have olive oil, we have garlic. We're going to cook everything at once. So the first thing we're going to do is drop our cavatelli in the water because they take about 7 minutes because they're pretty doughy, they're pretty big, right? The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go with extra virgin olive oil in the pan in a generous amount, enough to coat the pan nicely. Look at that. Boom, 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 boom. I'm going to put a pinch of salt right into my oil. You say, what? This will help your food taste delicious from the bottom up as opposed to salt being on top. Now we're going to add our garlic. Now, what we're going to do is we want to get some color on the garlic. Those people who say you don't want to get color on garlic have never cooked real Southern Italian food. This pan is going to heat up pretty quickly, but I put them in the pan while it's cold. That way they don't burn instantly. They have time, right? They have time to kind of pick up the heat, and you'll see what's happening here. They're already starting to sizzle. They're really, really beautiful. We can get rid of that. If you want to be really cheap, you can save all the tomato skins, dry them out, and make a powder out of them and color your next pasta red. That's how they do that with the tomato skins. Okay? Can you smell that? Oh my God. It smells so good. My DNA is going, ooh, Ricky, pasta, olive oil, and garlic. Okay, let them go a little bit. We have our arugula here that is going to go into our sauce. Now this arugula is pretty big, so I'm just going to take it and just give it a little bit of a rough chopping, but I'm going to leave the stems right in there, okay? And we have fresh basil, and this is from my garden. I'm going to give you a little tip. See these tops? When your basil plants develop those little tops, pick them off. It'll continue to grow outwards and grow more and more. If you let them grow too tall, they'll go to seed and your basil will not be sweet and you'll lose a lot of it. So prune your basil as you go. My cavatelli, they're looking good. My garlic, just starting to get a little color, just a little. You give it a little bit more. You see the thinner pieces are starting to get gold. You don't want to burn it because then it's going to get bitter. But I like that toasty, nutty flavor because I'm a little toasty and nutty myself, so it works really well with my personality. All right, now watch. We're going to have a little splashage. I'm going to take all these tomatoes and their juice, put it right into the pan. Let it break up a little bit. That's going to cook, and it's going to cook hard. I'm going to put a cover on it so it boils really hard. And let me just check my cavatelli. All right. Yeah, they're still pretty doughy. We'll give it a minute. All right, let me get my little spider here. Oh, get this spider. This will work. We're going to use this later for scooping. So what we're going to do, let's see. Boiling hard? Yeah. You know how quickly it comes to a boil? It's a beautiful thing. You can cook this for 15 or 20 minutes. I like it cooked just till it's just warmed through, so it's really like a fresca, right? It's not a sugo. It's not a long cooked sauce. I'm going to give it a taste and decide on my salt right now. Ooh, the tomatoes are so sweet. Then I'm going to add, at this point, a little bit of peperoncino. Not a lot. I'll have more for later. I'm going to put a little bit in there because I like my food to sparkle. You guys know that. You've all eaten my food. My food always sparkles. All right, so now I'm close. My gabardine, as they say in New Haven, gabardine. Gabardine. Carmelo, how do you say it in Sicily? Gabardine. I'm going to try one. They're nice, almost like pierogi dough. So they got about a minute and a half to go. So what I'm going to do now is take my arugula. Yep, I'm going to do this. I am. Right into the pasta water, just like that. Ooh, piece of tomato in there. Going to let it kind of wilt a bit in the pasta water. I'm going to take my basil from over here. Ooh, that was water. And I'm going to roll it up in a little bundle and just run my knife through it like a chiffonade. This basil is very tender. I'm going to put it right into my sauce right now. You can even put more if you want. Okay? You see this, a nice loose sauce here. This is what we call soupy sauce at home. The longer you cook it, the tighter it's going to get. But the fresh tomato flavor is so dynamite right now. Oh my God, I mean, it tastes like the garden. All right, so my arugula's had about 45 seconds. My cavatelli are almost there. So look, strain well, like this. Scoop and put them right in the pasta. So this is how you get rid of that arugula. Now a lot of people, there's that little tomato core that got away. I found it, you can't escape from me. A lot of people make arugula pesto, which is great. But arugula sauce is so fresh on a summer night. You sit out on the deck, maybe you grill a little piece of chicken or a piece of fish to go with it. Let's turn you off. Give this a stir. Get that arugula in there. So the arugula loses a little bit of its bitterness, but it still keeps that great flavor. So now I'm going to bring it over to the table, all right? Lizzie Corrado, come on over here. Let me grab a trivet. So look at this, slotted spoon. Let some of that juice drip out. Fresh tomato and arugula sauce. Homemade cavatelli. Aside from resting the cavatelli, we made this entire dish in 15 minutes. I'm going to eat the rest of it while you're not looking. But let me talk to you a little bit more about the rest of the garnishes that would be great for this. Okay? In Puglia, again, Piatti Povere, they obviously have pecorino, or sheep's milk cheese, which I'm going to use. But if you want to do it traditionally or do it vegan, toasted breadcrumbs right on top of the pasta. They had a beautiful texture, beautiful crunch, a little more crushed red pepper, adding to taste, and a little wine. My buddy Ursula at the Wine Hutch has this $11.99 organic Montepulciano d'Abruzzo, this Jassia Marchesani. It's great bang for the buck because it's not like super complex wine. It's everyday wine, and everyday wine is the best wine. I'm Rick Orlando, so please subscribe, Chef Rick Orlando. Also go to rickorlando.com. That's where all the recipes in print live. Live long, eat like a peasant, enjoy yourself. Look at this. Look at this beautiful dish of pasta. Are you kidding me? Hot as hell. Buongiorno. Ciao from Woodstock.